What's happening? What's happening? Hey guys, Tom Young, the Residual Hustler here, on my way home from food shopping and also from meeting with somebody on the team who I did some training with to kind of go into 2021 on fire, looking to learn some stuff, grow, and just have fun. I said, let's get together. Let me show you some stuff. Let me show you what I'm doing to grow the business and have fun. So, but I wanted to get on here real quick as I drive home to go over things that I see when I talk to people that have the employee mentality versus employer mentality. And they are two totally different types of mindsets. Okay? Two totally different types of mindsets. The employee always has excuses for something. Okay? The employer doesn't look at the problem, they look at the solution. I mean, I was taught many years ago by my father when I first joined a family business 31 years ago. He said, don't come to me with the problem, come to me with the solution. So don't come to him and tell him what the problem is. When I come to him, I already have a solution figured out to the problem before he even knows about the problem. So an employee just looks to say, here's the problem. Okay, how do I fix it? They don't figure it out themselves. So a lot of differences. Another one is an employee works 9 to 5. An employer works 24/7. Okay? And a lot of employers work 24/7 to avoid working 9 to 5. If you understand what that means. They would rather work 24/7 for themselves than 9 to 5 for somebody else. They'd rather build their own dream than working for somebody else. Okay? And there are a lot of people that just work 9 to 5. And there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5 job. I did it full time for many, many years. There's nothing wrong with it. But most people that are broke because they're just employees. And they work all week to get a paycheck. They get paid on Friday. And then they're happy because it's Friday and it's the weekend. Versus an employer literally gets paid every single day. Okay? Every single day. I still work part-time in my family's business. Okay? But I also have other ventures going on where I am the owner, employer, and I get paid or profit accrues every single day. Every single day. I'll give you a little tiny example. Today I was with one of my teammates doing some training for them on another business that I have, and while I was there, Amazon sold woman's face cream for me through their website. I made a $20 profit from that sale. I was doing one thing and at the same time made money doing something else. So, and that's a 24/7 deal. It's a 24/7 deal. So I don't just work 40 hours a week or 50 hours a week and then get paid on Friday, and then I have to work again 40, 50 hours a week to get paid on Friday again. What I do produces income 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's one of the reasons why I'm able to drive an Alfa Romeo. It's one of the reasons why I'm able to drive or have more than one car. Where I live is because I've got the cash flow. You don't have to have $1 million of cash flow. You just have to have some sort of cash flow coming in that is not from a 9 to 5 job. Okay? One thing, when I talk to people and show them what I do, one of the biggest hurdles that I come across is most people have the employee mindset where they say, oh, well, you know, if I show them a way to make an extra $200 or $300 a month in residual income, they're like, oh, I can just put in, you know, 6 or 7, 8 hours more work, overtime, and make that money. Okay, so if you do that every week, if you don't do that, you don't get paid that extra money. Where they're looking at, oh, if I need extra money, I just work overtime. Okay, well, now you work overtime, so now you're away from your family more. You're spending less time at home with the kids, so you're sacrificing all of that stuff to make a couple extra $100 bucks. I don't understand it. With what I do is I show people how to make that same money residually every month without leaving their house. It's a whole lot better. I look at it from an employer mindset or an entrepreneur mindset. Those couple things I do to earn that $200 or $300 more a month, I just do once, and every month I get that money again, over and over and over again. So a lot of people that have just 9-to-5 jobs, they work, they get paid. They work, they get paid. They work, they get paid. Hopefully they make enough at the end of the month to pay all their bills. They work, they get paid. They work, they get paid. With what I do, I work, get paid. Work, get paid. Work, get paid. Work, get paid, get paid. Work, get paid, get paid, get paid. Work, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid. See the difference? I work more up front to have a bigger payday at the end. Okay? I work, and now I'm at the point where I work a little bit and I get paid, 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 all over. And a lot of people, when I talk to them about what I do, they're like, oh, okay, well, if I do what you do and I work 5 hours this week, how much do I get paid? I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. This is not an hourly gig. This is not a job. This is a business that you start, and I help you. However much you want to get paid is up to you. Okay? For what I get paid, for what I do, for the time that I put into my online business, it's oh God, it's over $100 an hour. If you want to put it out into an hourly wage, it's more than $100 an hour. But I don't look at it as a per hour thing. Okay? It's not a job, it's a business. And this is why I call myself the residual hustler. Because I constantly hustle for residual income. That's how I came up with this. This came up, a friend of mine mentioned this probably about 5-6 years ago, where he's like, oh, he goes, you collect residual incomes, and I said, yeah. He goes, that's a nice hustle, and I said, yeah. And I was thinking, residual income hustle, income hustler, residual hustler. But, oh, I like residual hustler. Found out that the domain was on, domain name available, and that started to become my brand, the Residual Hustler. So I bought the domain, and now I just show people how to do what I do. I hustle for residual income. Residual income comes in many, many forms, but when I talk to employers, they understand this. When I talk to most, not all, but many, many employees, they don't get it, because their mindset is over here when it needs to be over here for them to understand it. I reached out to a friend of mine a couple days ago, and to show him what I do and say, hey, are you interested in partnering up with me? I'd love to have you and work with you. And he's like, oh no, he goes, all I do is you know, I umpire and I make extra money that way. And I'm thinking, okay. He goes, that's free and clear. He goes, besides, I don't like to pay taxes. I read that text, I kind of snickered. I'm like, you don't like to pay taxes? And I said to him, I said, I love to pay taxes. The more taxes I pay, the more money I make. I love to pay taxes. That's the difference between an employee and an employer mindset. They can only think one way. They can only think. They don't have to do what I do. I'm just reaching out to them because during this time with COVID and a second shutdown on the horizon, and I say that even more because I just left Panera Bread, and you can walk in and get a coffee or whatnot, but you can't sit down in the dining room. You'd have to eat outside. It's 46 degrees outside right now where I live. I don't want to sit outside, and because I was meeting up with one of my team members. So already you're seeing the COVID with the shutdown. Now they just lost my business. Panera Bread I did not buy anything because I couldn't go in there and sit down. I went over to Wegmans across the street because they have the cafe there. It's open, and I bought something there, and I spent my money at Wegmans. Businesses are going to close even more during a second shutdown. More people are going to be losing their jobs. I'd say more so than the first time, because many people that survived the shutdown the first time will not survive it the second time. Okay? So this is where my business thrives. And I make more money actually during a pandemic because more people want to find ways to work from home, and I'm one of those people that provides that solution for them. You want to make money from home? Okay. How much you want to make? 100, 200, 300 bucks a month? Okay. How much time are you willing to give me to help you earn, say, $500 more a month? Can you give me 3 hours a week, 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week? All right, you can give me 10 hours a week. All right, so 10 hours a week, 500 bucks a month. If you do more than that, hourly wise, you can make there's no limit. And I work with people in this way. I find out what their needs are, how much more they need to make in a month. It could be 1,000, it could be 5,000. I don't care what the number is. The number, it doesn't make a difference to me. I find out what the needs are. Maybe they just lost their job, or they went from full-time down to part-time. And with doing that, they also lost their health benefits. So they need an extra 500 hours a month to make up that difference. I get them, they can give me 3 hours a week, 4 or 5 hours a week, whatever it is. And then I work with them and I come up with a plan to help them work in those time frames for that extra money a month. And go from there. But when I tell people you're going to work for maybe 2 or 3 weeks and not get paid, but once you do that, your paydays are going to be bigger. They're going to be nice. It's going to be worth it. And so many people say to me, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to work for 3 weeks and not get paid. I'm not doing that. It's the employee mindset. Employee mindset right there. You've got to think long term. When I first started my Amazon business, I would send in product inventory for a couple weeks to a month. I was just getting started. I didn't have any sales for at least 4 or 5 weeks. Found out it was because I was pricing my products wrong. My very first sale that I made on Amazon, I lost $1.42. I lost money because I didn't realize how much the Amazon fees were, and I had my product priced too low. So I learned about it and I fixed it, and I made sure that didn't happen again. But I put in all the work. I probably put in 30 hours worth of work before I got any kind of money that they sent me for doing the work. But that's the employer mindset. I know it's going to pay off. I just got to keep doing what I have to do for it to pay off. So another big difference, I mentioned this earlier, is 9 to 5 people that work regular jobs are usually always broke. They're always living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm going to say that that is roughly 95% of the country. If you are just a regular employee and you work a 9-to-5 job, you are probably broke. Because I don't know one single person that has a big savings account or a lot of time on their hands or is wealthy from working a 9-to-5 job. I don't know any of them. If you're one of them, if you're one of them, please let me know, because I would love to meet you and I'd love to know what your job is. Okay, if you work just 9-to-5 for your job and you've got over $50,000 sitting in a savings account, I'd love to meet you and know what you do. Most people, over 90% of people that work 9-to-5 jobs, do not have $1,000 in their savings account. They don't. If you work a 9-to-5 job, I'm talking to you, and if you don't have minimum $1,000 in your savings account, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. If you've been working your job for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and you don't have minimum $1,000 sitting in a savings account, there's something wrong with what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, it ain't working. Because you're broke. You're poor. It doesn't work. Okay? To me, that tells me that either you're just spending way too much money, or you're working and all you're doing with your work is you're paying your bills and there's no money left. Your cash flow is once a week on Friday. That's your cash flow. As an employer or an entrepreneur, our cash flow is every day. For me, it's 24/7. I'm working on one thing, I got money coming on something else. I don't say that to brag or boast. I'm just saying there's differences in the mindset. Once you get the negative stuff out of your mind about money, money is good. There's nothing wrong with money. Is not evil. Okay? Money is not evil. Evil people make money evil. If you're poor and you're an evil person, if you all of a sudden became rich, you're still evil. You're still evil. It's not money. Money can just bring out a bad person and just make them worse because now they have more money. Okay? That can make them worse. Okay? But I don't know anybody that is doing financially well that just works a 9-to-5 job. I don't know any of them. Okay? Even my friends that have 9-to-5 jobs and are making over $100,000 a year, they're still broke, but they're broke on a higher level because they make more money. They're buying the fancy cars and the fancy houses, and they're still living broke. They just have flashier, cooler stuff. You think that they're doing well. But when it comes down to it, if you look at their financial statement at the end of the year, what they made versus what they had to pay in bills, it's terrible. They're just broke on a higher level. Just broke on a higher level. You know, so just, if somebody shows you a way to make extra money, especially during the time of COVID and more stuff being shut down, if somebody comes to you and says, listen, I found a way to make some extra cash, this could help during a shutdown, would you be interested in taking a look at it? And there's many closed-minded people. No, I won't lose my job. I'm an essential worker. I'll always have my job. There's no such thing as a loyal job anymore. I don't care who you are, what you do, or how much money you make. There's no such thing as your job always being there. I'm with my family's business. We do a lot of money a year in revenue, but there's no guarantee that that job will still be there in 3 months from now or 6 months from now. And I went down part-time 3 years ago in 2017 to be home more with my family. Okay, that's something else that a entrepreneur's mindset can do for you. I have not worked a full-time job in over 3 years. And yet, how can I afford to drive an Alfa Romeo? How can I afford to have the house I have? How could we afford it when my daughter was born 5 years ago that my wife stayed home for the first year that she was born? How can we afford all that stuff if Tom only works part-time? Oh, I don't know. Residual income? So, if you don't know what residual income is, Google it, look at it. It's a totally different world when you discover it. I discovered it 8 years ago in 2012 because I didn't know what it was. I was a full-time employee at that time, working in my parents' business. When I discovered it and I learned about it, my mind shifted. Mind shift. And this is what I show people today, friends, family, others. Some get it, some don't. The ones that don't get it, as soon as they have an issue, like where they lost their job or something, guess who they're calling then? Then they're calling me. Then it's not too late, but it's harder to get started because you waited until something was wrong. And then you called me. So, alright, I'm about home. And I just wanted to come on here and say, be healthy, be safe. Shutdown number 2 is almost here. I experienced it today, not being able to dine in Panera Bread. It's all shut down. Same thing with McDonald's. I had to go to Wegmans, and I bought from them and sit down and didn't buy from Panera Bread. They lost my business. So eventually you'll lose your job, or your place of business could shut down because of what's going on. It survived the first round. It may not survive the second round. So if you're looking for a way to make extra money to make up the difference, hit me up. Go to the website residualhustler.com. Go to here, message me here, or private message me. Shoot me a message, and I'll show you what I do to help people survive